Hello. Having just watched Ghosty do his quick review of the Solid X distro, and having done, as a result of that, a quick one of my own, I thought I'd also do one for this week's BDLL Distro Challenge, which is Manjaro 18.1. I've installed it on this machine, which is my second HP EliteBook 8470p. This one is the one with the 1600 by 900 display. Still has 8 gigabytes of RAM, 2 SSDs, having got rid of the optical drive to replace it with a drive bay. Again, the first SSD, excuse the thunder outside, has MX Linux 19. It says beta 1 there, but it's actually beta 2.1 on it, and is my main choice of distro. And the second SSD is a 500 gigabyte partitioned into 3 that has Arco Linux, Sparky, and now Manjaro, which replaced Endeavour OS. The Sparky is the semi-rolling Sparky, by the way, the one based on the Debian Bullseye testing branch. I've got Manjaro on another machine. It's been there since, I don't know, April, May. I've used it on and off, sort of at least once, maybe twice a week, for just an alternative operating system. I've had no problems. I'm assuming that the apps that I installed on it will have all rolled, as it's a rolling release. The only reason I could think of to install 18.1 was in case there was anything new that the old install didn't pick up automatically. I think the installer was a little smoother this time. I can't swear to it. I can't really remember what I had to do last time. I just told it to replace whatever was on this partition, and it ran through from start to finish, no bother. Excuse me. I'm dying. I wish I had a mute button somewhere. I install my usual packages using my default install thing. They should all just go through now because they're already there, so it won't actually do much. So yeah, it's set up exactly as with all the applications I normally use, like all my distributions. I've gone for the Xfce version. I'm an Xfce fanboy, so that's what I always go with. The panel is set up as my panel is usually set up, with what I need, so I don't have to think about it. Basically, it installs, it works, everything I want is there. What more can you say? If you want an Arch-based distro, then Manjaro is worth looking at. Personally, I prefer Arco Linux, and after Arco I might well prefer Endeavour OS, but there's nothing wrong with Manjaro. It does have that little extra safety feature of delaying some packages, so it's a slow rolling release rather than latest and greatest immediately that Arch and Arco and Endeavour seem to be. You may feel more comfortable with that. Doesn't seem to worry me a great deal. So yeah, it works nicely. It installs nicely. I must admit that I've gone with the dark theme, and I didn't see a set of icons, so I think I'm staying with the standard icons, but they seem to work quite nicely. And for the window manager, again, I've gone with the Matcha Dark C, so everything looks nice, works nicely. Yeah, I've got my standard scripts, sort of AOP for Arch update, to do a quick update rather than having to use the PAMAC. It's just something that I open a terminal and run whenever I power on the machine. Nothing to do now because, well, it's already been done. Yeah, backup utility, again, that's the one from Joe Collins, is Easy Linux. I've modified it so that it runs nicely. It's basically just rsync, but it runs nicely on Arch as well as Debian based distros. And my DD USB script, which is just makes life easy for using DD to write an ISO file to a USB drive. And I've just noticed that it actually needs changing because it's still set up for the ThinkPad X230, which only has a single hard drive, so it needs to be writing to dev SDC. But that's easy enough. If you write to SDB, you're going to wipe out whatever's on your second SSD, which is not clever. Yep, so that's it basically. It's that's it basically. I've got it installed. I'll be using it a bit more, ready for next week's distro challenge discussion. I won't be joining in, but I will be in the chat if I can stay awake. So yeah, that's it. Thanks very much. Bye for now.